What's up, guys? Welcome back to Get Sharp. I'm Corey. I'm excited. Just got great news. If you saw my last video, my baby bird Ace of 11 years got pneumonia, but he's coming home in about a half hour to an hour. So I'm going to shoot this real quick. Today's video. Yesterday, we trued the SJ250. So we used the truing device, the truing tool, and we made this thing as round as it can be. So it's looking really good now, but there's one more step. And for lack of a better word, we're going to be honing the stone. My game plan is to use the square edge jig, which is this guy here, and I'm gonna show you how I set it up with the diamond plate, and we're just gonna run that over the surface and get it nice and clean and ready for our first honing. So I'll pull you in for a closer look. All right, welcome back. So here is our Tormek square edge jig. This process is really for those of you that care about precision. So I spent 45 minutes truing that wheel. So now I want the grading of it, the honing of that wheel to be as square as possible. So I'm going to use this. This is a little hack. This probably isn't going to come up on camera, but there's a little mold here to show the center of this. So we're going to take a 600 grit diamond plate and we're going to feed this guy in here. But damage on the Japanese stone there. Next thing. Go grab an old plane out of your plane razor or blade. If you happen to not know what those are, almost everybody's got one kicking around. If you don't have one, your neighbor's got one, your grandpa's got one, Goodwill's got one, $5. $9.99 over at Harbor Freight Tools. Okay, so next I've got this line lined up. And I'm going to line this line up because we're neurotic like that. Boom, boom, boom. I like to go sharp side down so everything's square. Boom, boom, boom. Finger tight. Now with my fingers, I'm clamping it all tight. Try to square it up as much as I can. I'm just going to give those a small tighten right there, because next I want to grab that carpenter square and just check this out real quick. We're off, so we're going to rotate a little bit. There we go. We're happy with that. Half twists on each side. Tightening this down both sides at the same time. In my mind, that way we're not getting a little too tight on this side. And okay, my cameras just lights took a shit on me. I don't know why. So I'm gonna fill this bad boy up with some water. Soak on our stone. So this is pretty simple, guys. We're going to be taking this tool and just letting it do its job over this. I'm going to slide it back and forth, and I'm not going to apply any pressure. I'm relying on the fact that I tighten this down and everything's square. So I just want to kind of allow gravity to do its thing, right? But boy, there's nothing prettier than a freshly trued Japanese wheel. We're gonna have to do something fun here and make some marks. This square here, that's where our damage was before we trued the wheel. In fact, that's that cut in the wheel. Very, very small, which we're lucky. But that's what triggered us to do this in the first place. That should make for pretty cool visual effects, huh? Okay, got some soap deep in there. So let's go ahead and let this thing do some work. In hindsight, we could have used that 80 grit diamond plate, which would have, you know, maybe saved us a couple minutes, and then threw the 600 on after. From what I can tell so far, stone must be a little oblong still, because it's still bouncing a little bit. So we didn't get 100% true, but not to worry. You know, we're not doing any scissors on this thing, just knives. We just really, my goal was to get rid of that cut in there, because every time that cut passed under a blade I was honing, under the loop, the magnifying glass, I could tell on the blade edge. And I'm gonna go ahead and let her down a little bit, just so she's grinding on different parts of this. In fact, what I should have done, what I usually do, is I'll start as low as it'll go. That's right about there. This part of the tool is a millimeter above the stone, so I can't go any lower. And now we're rubbing right here as opposed to up here. And we can see this side, our pencil has rubbed all off. And we're right now we're right here. And we're heading this direction. Truing our tools as precise as we can, but at the end of the day, you know, this isn't an MIT lab. This isn't a Boeing engineering tooling lab. You know, this is a garage. But this process, if you follow it, you will be extremely satisfied with how sharp your knives come out. I can guarantee you that. I've done this exact process many times, and I know the results. The next knife that gets honed on this wheel is going to be friggin' insane. And you guys will all witness that. And the idea is too, I won't have to do this process for maybe a month. It depends on what kind of volume I get. But if I'm sharpening a couple knives every day, what is that? Maybe 50 knives, 25, 50, somewhere in there. You know, I might not re-true the stone, but I'll do this process again a couple times in between. It's really, you just kind of get into a rhythm, and you just, eventually you know when it's time. Okay. We're at the lowest we can go, so we're going to come up a little bit. And we're going to find ourselves on a new spot, just in case some of that diamond's getting rubbed off, which it very well could be, because I've been grinding on these diamond plates for a while now. Nice consistent pressure 100% of the time. Let's check our progress. I think it's a progress check. What that is. Like it looks like we're bringing it up here. Yeah, I can tell there's a soft spot here. So check this up a little bit more. Put your pressure right here, because we want this spar to be as level as possible, as always. And two, you got to remember, it's going to take longer and longer and longer. If this was the high side right here, and it was only right here, that's going to get shaved off quickly. But as it slowly gets graded all the way to here, you're constantly having to take off more and more and more, eventually to where the entire width of this stone is being touched by the entire width of this. So that process takes a little bit of time. What time is it, babe?
Huh?
What time is it?
The vet called.
What'd they say?
I can't pick him up until 3 now.
How come?
It wasn't the vet, it was the front desk people, and they said we need a little bit more time. Is it okay if you come around 3? And I said, yes, that's fine. And
Probably because they're busy with
I
other
think
patients.
they're just busy. I don't think it's Ace. It's like every time my phone rings and I look down and I saw it was the vet, my heart just was like, fuck. Sorry to interrupt your show.
You're good. I'm tempted to throw that 80 grit on here. I don't know why I chose to go straight to the 600. I know why. It's because it's, you know, you don't want to run a blade on this stone that just got dressed up with the 80 grit diamond plate. So I want to do the right thing so no one gets the wrong idea and screws shit up, you know, if they watch this. But I definitely could have ran that thing for a minute or two and then threw this on. We just walk slow when we're around cameras. So this one's too wide to line up with this. But as long as it's square, that's what matters. I think this just adds the plain blade adds stability. I learned this a long time ago watching YouTube videos. Learned it the same way you're learning right now. Yeah, my plain blade's a little not as long as the other guys. His came all the way out to here, and just it's going to reduce flex. Okay, there we go. Everything's lined up. It's kind of nerve-wracking when your entire future on YouTube is dependent on you messing up the camera one more time. Alright, let's see how quickly this guy does the work. You know what we should do though? We should knock her back down. Check out that shot. ready and slap that 600 on there. Okay. One other piece of advice I can give you too. Try to make note of like which end you set your diamond plate up on and rotate them. That way you're using as much of the diamond plate. If you're always setting it up with this on the back and this the front, you're just going to be grinding from here to here the whole time. And this is always going to be, that's my case. I can feel that. That's what I've done with this one. So next time I need to be mindful and put this side up front because it's got a lot of life up here. So since we've got everything set up, might as well put a minute on the 600. And the idea is this stone is going to be 3 times the grade of the stone on there. So I'm putting this at about 1800 grit. Will be the finish on the Japanese stone here. Check this out. Milky blue water. And I like to see that there's not a ton of blue sediment in here. So that tells me we might have been grinding for a while, but realistically we didn't take a whole hell of a lot of surface off this stone. I'm probably one of the cheapest people you'll ever come across, so I'm always looking for ways to save money. And I'm not always looking for ways to save money. I'm always looking at where I'm losing money. I just want to know. Gonna take the metal eraser here and just give it a once over. I am happy. I mean, how much fun was that? Alright, I just got a notification that the camera temperature has risen. So, good timing because we're done. We are done. This was a great little project. Thank you for riding along with me as we take the final step after truing the stone and grading it. So again, my name's Corey. This is my channel, Get Sharp. We have a goal of 500 subscribers by the end of summer. We're getting 2 to 3 subs per day, which is like, I didn't see that coming, so this is very doable. If you're here just one time, do me a quick favor, stab that like button. For my friends that are here all the time, thank you so much. And I'll see you on the next one where we take a look at what's inside this box. Alright guys, have a fantastic day. Bye.